Hello and welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a woman that's about to get really bloodthirsty with her picks. It's Megan Hoffmeyer.
Okay. That threw me off. Are we doing a horror draft? No, I was like bloodthirsty. Is it literal?
How dare you take Martin Eden before me?
Did we have raw steak for dinner?
So normally we have the most pleasant drafts in the history of the world, but in this one, which we're drafting our favorite films released between 2018 and 2023, I said, Megan, go for it. Don't worry about my feelings. And plus, there's been about 7,000, there's probably been about 100,000 movies released since then. So there's plenty to pick from. And the reason we did this is our 500th episode week. Megan has been a part of MFF since 2015. You designed our MFF logo. I think you figured out what mics I should get. You've dealt with me being in another room talking, which sounds like to myself, but talking to somebody else on Skype for about 8 years now.
I'm just the success machine behind the face.
That's right.
That's really what it is.
You're Machiavellian. You're picking all the movies. But
I'm like Taylor Swift. I'm a mastermind.
That's right. We watch a lot of movies too. And ever since 2018, when I became part of the Georgia Film Critics Association, we watch a lot more because we're trying to pack in all the movies before the end of the year. It's fun.
Yeah,
I'm not complaining.
It's funny. I will talk to people at work or friends, and I'll say, I feel like I'm a little bit ruined for talking about movies because we watch so many more than normal people.
And my buddy...
And quite the variety, too. It's not just, it's not like we're just action fans or we're just Marvel fans or just horror fans. We watch everything.
You got to. Because I do my end of the year episodes.
You got to.
Yeah.
And I like to spend time with you.
I do my end of the year episodes with Zanandi. I do random awards with you. Then I make sure because I take it as a source of pride that my ballots are complete and funky. And so since 2018, you've been on the show since about 2017, but Joey Lewandowski, a friend of the pod, he's the host of the Too Fast, Too Forever podcast, which I've been on. He was just on a Babylon episode. He has been doing a lot of drafts with his friends, and it got me thinking about what movies from 2018 to 2023 do we love the most? And the reason why it's 2018 is because that's when The Night Comes for Us came out. So you have to have that in a list.
Well, yeah.
Because that's like our movie.
Wait, no. Do I have to reevaluate what my first pick is going to be? I feel like it's supposed to be The Night Comes for Us.
Well, you get first pick. And so, yeah, you get first pick, Meg. We established that early on. And we're going to pick 10 movies each. And we're using this, Meg, just to promote movies we love and maybe movies you haven't seen.
10? I picked like 30.
I have a list here of like 70. So there's going to be great.
Oh, no. I'm kidding.
Yeah. Let's do it. All right, what do you got?
I am honestly very distracted right now because you have a piece of glitter on your nose from our daughter's t-shirt today. And it's just the most cute t-shirt, but it sheds glitter all over your face.
Baby glitter is great.
You're just making the whole place glitter.
Not shimmer? Wait. Shimmer. Taylor Swift.
I know.
And Annihilation.
I adapted it.
What's a better shimmer? Taylor Swift shimmer or Annihilation shimmer?
Oh, I mean Taylor Swift. Come on.
Yeah, I don't want an evil alien. I don't even know if that alien's evil. We don't know that or not.
It just
So I hate saying evil.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with aliens.
Nah.
I'll be a backup dancer for Taylor Swift.
Oh my gosh, that was intense.
I'd die.
I would collapse after maybe the first era.
Yeah, after her first album. All right, Megan, what's your first pick?
Okay. I figured that I had to do this. I had to. It's Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar.
Oh, that's your first pick?
It is my first pick.
Whoa.
I don't know. I mean, I had a lot of fun putting this list together, and honestly, it was pretty easy to put together a massive list of all my favorite movies from the past several years. Narrowing it down is going to be not so easy. But there's just so much great film. And Barb and Star, come on.
Wow, Barb and Star.
I was in a terrible mood when we watched this movie because I was just grumpy about some stuff with being pregnant, and we watched this movie and it's like a vacation for your mind.
It really is and there's jet skis, there's culottes.
It's so weird.
There's songs.
It's got Edgar's Prayer.
And it's one of our most popular episodes.
Because it's fantastic and it's so weird. And I just love that the director said you get to Edgar's Prayer about 45 or so minutes in. And that's the point where you realize this is a movie for you or not.
Absolutely. Well, it's a movie for us.
It is for us.
Number one pick overall. All right, so you want to hear mine?
Yes.
The Night Comes for Us.
I almost did that one.
Eco, Joe Taslim, the operator, some of the best fights, some of the goriest fights. I just love Indonesian action films. So yeah, we have Barb and Star and The Night Comes for Us as 1 and 2.
Yeah, it was honestly at the top of my list. But, you know, when I thought about it, I just had to do Barb and Star. It feels so personal and it meant so much. And it still makes me smile. It's super rewatchable because there's so many gags that you can keep watching. But
Perfect.
The Night Comes for Us, I think that I compare every action movie I watch ever. I mean, even John Wick. I compare all of that. And listen, John Wick 4 was beautiful. It is right up there with The Night Comes for Us in the amount of action you're getting, where it's, who cares about the plot? We want the action.
Lots of action. And Marco Zorar.
Yeah.
And Scotty Atz.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, what's your number 2?
Oh, okay. I'm just going to call audibles. I have a whole list here, and I'm just going to go for it.
All right.
It's going to be The Dead Don't Die.
Whoa. The Dead Don't Die. Hey, another very popular episode. I need to get you on for more, because these are 2 of our more popular episodes.
And they're 2 really weird movies.
Really weird movies.
I love The Dead Don't Die. I watched it. I've said this many times on the podcast. I watched it on a plane, and then I came home and told you had to watch it, and then I watched it with you. And then I watched it on a plane at least 2 more times.
And then we bought it and watched it more.
And then we podcasted about it, and it's just so odd.
Adam Driver, Tilda Swinton, Cleveland hipsters, Selena Gomez.
Looks like an animal attack.
Zombies. It's just so... You got the script?
Fashion zombies.
Son of a bitch. Fashion. Oh.
iPad.
What a movie. It's very rewatchable. All right, I'm going to do something evil because I thought this was going to be the number 1 pick.
Okay.
I'm going to take Portrait of a Lady on Fire.
You know, that was my number 2.
But you called it audible?
I am. I'm just going for it.
Remember when we watched it and we immediately went online and researched the camera work and the lenses and the framing?
And how she wanted, Celine Sciamma wanted it to look like paintings.
And the DP is just, Claire Mathon, she's just such a beast. Yeah, she's so good.
Yeah, there's that scene where they're out by the water at the ocean and they're just looking out at it and you're seeing the 2 girls' heads and it's like a painting.
It is. It's like a painting.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful. Everyone
should watch it. And it's sad. And it's heartbreaking. And it's interesting.
It's beautiful. I love it.
It is art itself.
It's yes, on multiple levels. I love it.
All right, I got to scratch that one off the list.
Right, what's your 3rd pick?
Oh, man, this is tough. I've got a couple that I really want on the top here. Ooh, what's it going to be? Okay, I feel like you're going to pick this other one, so I'm going to say RRR.
Ooh. I mean, we watched that thing. Ray Stevenson passed away.
I was just thinking that.
I want everyone to know, I worked with him on Jane Mansfield's car. I was a stand-in. And he was just the coolest dude on the planet. Really chill. It's weird that I'm as tall as him, because he seems giant.
Very
But
big.
Hollywood people are little.
True.
So he is a giant, technically. But he was just the coolest dude. Awesome guy. We chatted about G.I. Joe. And that's my favorite show I've ever worked on. And he was a wonderful villain in RRR.
You know, I actually saw one of the articles when the news broke, it was yesterday, about him passing, that it said in the headline, not just, Ray Stevenson, Marvel, blah, blah, blah. It said Ray Stevenson, RRR star.
And Punisher Warzone.
But this was in the headline of a major news article, which is very exciting. I know that RRR won an Oscar for Best Song, and it's just a marvel. I think that I was a little bit daunted. So you had started watching the movie on Netflix, right? You had watched the opening action scene, and I don't know. I was sort of like, what is this movie? It's really long. Do we need to commit to another long movie? And then I got annoyed that you watched it without me. So we had to start it over. And we just sat there for a whole afternoon, I think, while the baby was napping. And we just watched it. And we're glued to it.
Because it's wonderful.
It is amazing. It has songs telling you what's happening the whole time. It is the best buddy movie ever.
Yeah.
These guys are superheroes.
Best friends.
It is fantastic.
I know a lot of people complain about the politics, but it's RR. It's a bonkers movie. It's not.
Yeah.
If you take that movie and its history seriously, I mean, if you take it as fact, like that's like watching The Crown and saying this is fact.
Right.
Like there's people riding tigers.
Right. There's guys flinging statues around by chains. Come on now.
High-fiving under bridges.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6? Or number 3 for me. You ready for this?
Yep.
Decision to Leave.
Oh, okay. All right. That's not what I was thinking you were going to say.
I got my Indonesian action film.
Yep.
I got my Celine Sciamma. And now I got my South Korean amazing cinema. Park Chan-wook. One of my favorite directors of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful movie. Great.
So good.
Excellent beach work. I mean,
very moody. Just a really well acted, interesting piece.
It's beautiful. I think in 10 years' time, After Sun and Decision to Leave are going to be looked at as pure art. I'm telling you.
Oh, After Sun.
It's great.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what's your 4th pick?
Okay. Bergman Island.
Oh, I was just looking at that.
And that's I thought that you were going to pick that on the last one, but you surprised me.
You know what I love about Bergman Island?
Tell me.
Well, you love Vicky Creeps in it.
I also love Tim Roth.
Oh, Tim Roth. And I think Mia Wasikowska.
And yeah, and her too.
I think she's great in it.
It's such an interesting, dreamy movie, and it has such a cool setting on this island, and the sort of social commentary that Vicky is doing about her career and her scripts, but then they're making her movie. It's just so interesting to watch, and it sort of weaves in and out of itself, and it's a really good movie.
And how do we come across it? I think
IFC.
Yeah, they sent me the year-end thing, and I just saw on Twitter that people liked it, so we just randomly put it on, and it was awesome.
Yeah, you got access to a bunch of things for...
They do award season catch-ups, so they'll send you like all the links.
And that's how we got that movie and a couple other ones that we really loved that year.
Undine. All right, you ready for my 4th pick?
Yes.
Crawl.
Of course.
2018. It was. I almost thought about picking it number 1, but Alejandro Azra, $13 million. You and I saw that in the theater together, and you know they didn't even screen it for press. But then when they released it, it was 88%. And
what?
Like, yeah, initially the critics 88%.
That's crazy.
It should be 170, but they were like, "We're not going to release it," and then critics watched it and they're like, "This is good. It's $13 million. I recommend everybody watches the making of it just to show how thrifty they were." Kaya's great. VPEP's great. The alligators are great. And I'm just now realizing that we're very Florida with our lists.
Are we?
Okay, Barb and Star, beach.
Yeah.
Portrait of a Lady on Fire, beach. Decision to Leave, beach. Bergman Island, beach. Crawl, gators. So most of our movies that we picked here have something to do with sand.
Maybe we're just thinking we need to go on vacation.
Maybe that's what are we doing this to ourselves?
It's possible.
All right, so we have Barb and Star, Night Comes for Us, Dead Don't Die, Portrait of a Lady on Fire, RRR, Decision to Leave, Bergman Island, Crawl. What you got?
Ooh, okay, this is a tough one. I'm gonna go with The Gentleman.
Oh, that came out of nowhere.
So there was a few angles I thought about taking while doing this, and I think for me it was movies that I would like to keep watching. Not just, there's movies that are like a one-time event that you just loved, but it's sort of, it was either emotionally heavy or it was just a thing that you experienced once for the first time and you can't really recapture that. But The Gentleman, I'm going to just watch over and over.
Yeah, because it's infinitely rewatchable.
Oh my gosh. Matthew McConaughey is very, this feels so cliche, he's very commanding of the screen in this movie. And Charlie Hunnam is so, he's so cool and he's got such great style and he really pulls off what he's doing there, and it's so nice to see him in these roles because I watched Sons of Anarchy forever.
Yeah.
And this is quite refreshing. You've got a very interesting cast of all these different characters doing seedy stuff.
It's very adult. And I love
yeah.
I love that, but not in an R-rated way.
No. It's adult in like it's an adult movie. It's made for adult humans, not sketchy stuff.
And I love the relationship between Michelle Dockery and McConaughey. Normally in those movies, there's always issues like, oh, the wife, he's cheating. These two just love each other.
Yeah.
And it's really refreshing.
She's his queen.
And Hunnam's not going to turn on him. Hunnam, like, they're totally cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Colin Farrell's amazing.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I want that grill. Suit. Oh my gosh. And it introduced us to Bugsy Malone, who's wonderful in Operation Fortune.
Oh yeah, flipping and
they're
saying.
the best. Oh, I love that. Oh, okay. So I gotta follow this, huh? Okay, so I'm gonna take. I talk about it all the time. It'd be stupid if I didn't do it. Mandy. I'm gonna take Mandy because I tell my students about it. My students watch it. They're like, "Mark, this is amazing." I think it's one of the most. I randomly saw it in the theater one day. It's the most sensory blasting, interesting weird, beautiful gonzo movies. And it just features Nick Cage snorting, ripping a huge line of coke while fighting Cenobites. And it features a chainsaw fight. Like, everything in this world that's great. So, yeah. Those are... So, right now, Meg, you have Barb and Star, Dead Don't Die, RRR, Bergman Island, and The Gentleman. I have Night Comes for Us, Portrait of a Lady on Fire, Decision to Leave, Crawl, and Mandy.
Oh, man. This is a good one.
This is
tough.
This is getting stressful.
All kinds of fun things.
We only have 5 left.
Okay. Whew. I can do this. All right. The next pick is going to be... It's going to be plain. It is a good old-fashioned, fun... It reminds me of 90s action movies.
Yeah.
And,
I don't want to insult the movie, but it's so straightforward. It's refreshing. But that's not easy to do.
No, the plot is simple. They do not get distracted from what they're supposed to be doing, which is great.
And Mike Coulter is super cool.
So good.
And he's going to have a sequel.
And Gerard Butler is, I don't know. It came out very nasal and weird. Gerard Butler, he really is bringing it here. He doesn't feel like, he's been in his career for a long time. He could phone it in an action movie, but he's not. It's really good, and you're engaged.
You're really engaged.
There's some literally breakneck action scenes.
And even before the plane crashes, the plane scenes are tense.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the whole movie's a tension bomb.
Yeah, it really is. And I do love that the plane remains a character, because that makes sense.
And you know what I like? They need to drink water in it.
Oh, yeah.
Hydration's a factor.
Mm-hmm. That's your thing.
Okay, this is really tough. But I am going to go with a movie that left me on an absolute high leaving the theaters. And I'm going to go with Barbarian.
Oh, that makes sense. I remember you called me on the way home. You went to a press screening, and obviously someone has to stay home with a baby. And you call me, and you're just going on and on about this crazy movie and telling me the entire plot, which makes no sense, by the way, if you try to explain it to someone. And then I ended up actually watching it later, and it's very entertaining.
Everyone's great in it. Everyone is wonderful. Justin Long's incredible. I gotta thank Aaron Newirth for... I was like, what is this movie? Should I even go see it? He's like, Mark, go to the theater.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, don't miss this. And I absolutely love it. They built all the sets in Bulgaria. It's audacious, it's devious, it's funny. I absolutely love it. So, hey.
It subverts expectations in certain areas, which is really fun.
Absolutely. It does, too. You don't know where it's going.
Mm-mm.
So, I'm going to read you I asked some of our MFF contributors to send me their lists.
Okay.
Because I need to recoup, because I only have 4 picks left.
Oof.
This is getting stressful.
It's getting tight.
So, DJ Valentine, who just joined us for the John Wick 4 episode, he picked Mission Impossible Fallout. He wrote, I think it's the best made mission movie, even though Rogue Nation is still my favorite. Chris McHugh has never let me down. Then he put Avengers Infinity War. The balls on this film to end how it did. The brilliance to make Thanos the main character. The pace is breakneck, and the narrative is airtight. It's also King Lear compared to the MCU we get today. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, yes.
Oh, yeah.
A love letter to my favorite comic book superhero. Could have been a disaster, but Carrie shrugged the landing. She'd stuck it. A Star is Born. How Bradley Cooper was not recognized for this film still baffles me. His apology scene alone gave me chills. 8th Grade. The one movie that year that made me cry, and it's very underappreciated. And he gave honorable mentions to Destroyer, A Quiet Place, Overlord, and Upgrade. Great movie. Znandi Boetis.
Love Upgrade so much.
She said The Worst Person in the World, yes. Werewolves Within, yes. The Suicide Squad, yes. Sound of Metal, yes. Dr. Sleep, yes. Beautiful movies. Johnny Numb. Drive to Cause Concrete, VFW. All of these are yes, by the way. VFW, The Devil All the Time. Kurt Vonnegut, Unstuck in Time. IFC movie, very good. In 2022, Men. Dan Allen Sr. did Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Barbarian, Ready or Not, Us, and Nobody. Tony Coogan said Parasite, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Three Identical Strangers, 8th Grade, and Petite Maman. Ooh.
Nice.
Chris Kelly said The Meg, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, The Northman, The Trip, and The Bubble, 2022.
Oh, The Trip.
Not that one.
Oh.
William Yu.
Well, The Trip to Greece came out during this time period, so I was
very good
hoping.
Movie. William Yu just said The Batman. Ryan Groff said The Dark and the Wicked, yes. Green Knight, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Saint Maud, and Hereditary. Niall said Tenet, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Batman, No Time to Die, and Parasite. So we're back at it now. You're up, Meg. No.
I quit. Okay. All right. I can do this. Well, I'm glad that Spider-Verse got so much love in the lists there. Now I don't have to pick it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I feel free. I've been freed up to pick. I'm going to go with Sisu.
Ooh, Sisu.
We just watched this.
Yeah.
They were Norwegian. Finnish. A Tale of the Finnish.
It's directed by Rare Exports.
During Nazi times. And a man that you just don't want to mess with.
Mm-mm.
It was very fun. I could watch it again. I'll watch it again.
I mean, we bought it. It's 90 minutes.
Don't speak reasonable things. I want to watch it for enjoyment, not because I bought it.
So I'm going to say a movie here that not many people have seen, but it's really stuck with me for the last couple of years. It's a Kino Lorber movie called Test Pattern. I don't know if you've heard of it, but I don't want to give too much away about it. But it's just, I don't know why. It was directed by Shatar Michelle Ford, and it's about a couple's relationship gets put to the test when a man drives from hospital to hospital to find a rape kit. And it's for his, for his wife, like his girlfriend. But it's, just watching them go from hospital to hospital and dealing with the bureaucracy and the stress that happens between them, and like, it's been really hard to forget, Megan. And I love Kino Lorber, so I'm saying that one.
Do love Kino Lorber.
Yeah, I love some Test Pattern. So what's your 15? Or, I'm sorry. I'm going 1 through 20. I'm just doing a numbered list here. So what's your number 7?
8.
8.
Oh. Now it's getting tough, because there's only a couple left. Oh, well, I don't know. What do I want to do?
I mean, we got a bunch of good ones.
We have a lot of good ones. All right, I'm going to go with Cyrano.
Oh, yeah.
I just have to. First of all, I love this movie so much. No one has watched it that I really know other than you. We own the soundtrack. I listen to it all the time. At work, in the car, in the house, wherever. Blasting it. The songs are beautiful. Written by the brothers, The National.
Mm-hmm.
And just, it's a great story.
Everyone's really good in it.
Peter Dinklage, so good.
Calvin Harrison Jr., they're all great. And that Glennie Hands is in it.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
I wrote a letter
to my mother. Oh. Oh, gosh. Okay. After Sun.
Yeah.
It's taken After Sun.
Makes sense.
That movie makes me very emotional.
Well, yeah, he's with his daughter.
Charlotte Wells.
He's questioning the things, the life.
How did it not win everything?
I mean, it's a small movie, and he did get
nominated.
Yeah.
But Charlotte Wells, the direction and the shots.
Oh, yeah, I know. They got robbed. I mean, whatever. The Oscars are terrible. They just acknowledge what's popular. They don't acknowledge all the best movies.
This draft is a blur.
Come at me.
This draft is a blur. All right, what's your next pick? This is hurting.
I quit.
Yeah.
I'm done. My next pick. Ooh. Okay, if I stick to my statement about movies that I will rewatch and enjoy over and over. Gosh, there's one that I really want to put on here, but I don't think I can rewatch it because it's just too emotional.
Go with your heart.
Okay, fine. My heart says, and this movie was nominated for Best Picture, but I feel like not a lot of people watched it, Triangle of Sadness. I'm going to watch that movie over and over, and I'm going to enjoy all of the weirdness.
That looks like our grenade.
Oh, is that one of ours? The scene in the beginning with the models.
Oh, gosh.
Relax your triangle of sadness.
And the tipping discussion?
Right. There's just so many good... I mean, they're kind of like bits, but they're not. It's all part of a story.
Yeah. But it's great. And there's bad donkey stuff in it.
There was a lot of bad donkey stuff in 2022
and
in general.
A lot of good pretzel bits, though.
Oh, the pretzel bits? Well, the pooping and puking part that just really... Talk about the moment when you're like, are you really into this movie or are you not into this movie? That is the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that it happens and you go, okay, that's gross. And then it just keeps going on for like 10 minutes. Maybe it's not that long. Maybe it is. Who knows?
You got Woody Harrelson.
But it's insane.
It's a wonderful movie.
And I love it.
Remember the guy takes the jewelry off of his dead wife?
Yep.
I love it.
And the boat is swaying in the storm and everyone's losing their guts and they're just arguing about fascism and communism.
I'm going to go with a very similar movie for my next pick.
Tell me.
Malignant.
Yes.
Which is not it, but I've covered it 3 times on the MFF podcast as the greatest chair throw ever. The greatest, I mean, it's insane. It's absolute, James Wan is one of the most listen, he's made 2 movies that have made $1 billion. Insidious, Saw, those movies cost $1 million. They almost cleared $80 million. He started the Conjuring universe. He's just a one-man wrecking crew, and I love Malignant. They gave him $40 million. There's this. I show my students the spider cam shot, and they lose their minds. Beautiful movie. Malignant. We have 1 each left.
You know what's great? I was just looking over my list, and you only took 1 movie from my list that I would have picked.
Wow.
That's it.
Jeez Louise.
Isn't that weird?
I mean, this is really hard. And I'm going to be, I could make it, but we could
But
make
like you
40
said,
lists.
there's tons of movies out there. And the trouble I had until I just sat down and picked all the movies that I really like, was that, you know, which way do you go with this when putting together? There's so many different ways. There's the movies I love, the movies I think are actually the best, the movies that to me are the best, the movies that I'm going to watch the most, which is sort of where I landed.
This is stressful.
It's tough.
You know, I gave you first pick because I'm like, you get first pick. It's stressful, but I get the last pick, which is just as stressful.
First pick was easy.
All right, what's your last pick?
Oh, okay. Now this is tough. Last pick sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there is a movie I thought you were gonna pick for your last one, but I'm gonna keep it to myself, and I'm gonna see if that's what you pick for your last movie. So no pressure.
Oh, great.
Okay. What's my last pick gonna be?
I'm surprised you haven't picked Ford versus Ferrari yet.
You know, it's funny. I just saw that on your letterbox. And now, I already had a movie in mind that I was going to pick. But I saw it and cool, that's a good one. I love that. It's a 4-quadrant movie. Yeah. It's good. Matt Damon is just so dang charming. How does he do it? Stopwatches. Italian.
Rentros.
Okay. The last movie. It's actually a movie I never saw when it came out. I saw it later on. I don't remember how you got me to watch it. Maybe you were watching it with my dad?
Avengement?
No. Which I also love, and I thought about putting it on the list, but it didn't make it. Upgrade.
Oh, yeah.
And somebody else mentioned it earlier, so I was like, dang it.
Upgrade's wonderful.
How did I end up watching it?
With me.
No, but why did I end up watching it? I can't remember.
I put it on with your dad one time, maybe. No, I told you to watch it on your own.
No?
It's wonderful.
I think you were watching it with my dad, and then I got sucked into it, as happens when you guys watch movies.
It's beautiful.
It's so good.
It's
and it's something you can watch over and over, and it's so interesting, and those fight scenes are so cool, and it's just a great idea. Right up there, another one of those movies like that was The Guest. I never watched it when it came out, and then you got me into watching it.
Oh, so you left me with the last pick.
I know what you're gonna pick.
I'm just gonna take Bloodshot.
I knew it. Yes.
I mean, I've covered it 4 times on the podcast. It's gonna be coming up this week. I have the paperback book to read, and I mean, how many times have I watched it? It's probably the movie I've watched most since 2020. So I have to include Bloodshot. Now, here's the thing, Meg. We left out a lot of good movies. I'm gonna give you a speed round where you can take 5 movies to add to your team.
Oh man,
Go.
I was just gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm just gonna read them all.
5.
I'm just gonna read them all. There's only 7 of them.
Okay.
Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
It's already covered. Raya and the Last Dragon.
Oh yeah.
Again, because the rewatchable stuff. Mm-hmm. I just watched it over and over. And then I saw one on your screen, Old Henry. Put that up there. Dune.
Mm-hmm.
Sparks, the documentary.
Oh yeah, that was really good.
Undine, which was already mentioned. The Trip to Greece, because it was the only one that fell in the time period, and I love all the Trip movies so much.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one that I didn't want to mention on my list, but I love so much, is Wildcat.
Oh, that was so good.
But it makes me cry.
What about Wild Rose?
Oh yeah, Wild Rose. There's too many good movies.
And
add that one to my extras.
I left out Petite Maman, Martin Eden, Baccarat, Ford vs. Ferrari, Last Black Band in San Francisco, Undine, Waves, Sound of Metal, Love and Monsters, Pig,
Old
Henry, The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, I think was 2018. And then we have The Five Bloods, Titan, France, which I really like. I put We Summon the Darkness, The Dark and the Wicked, Underwater, One Cut of the Dead, The Wolf of Snow Hollow, Saloon, Mad God, Dolomite Is My Name, Triple Threat.
You said 5.
Yeah,
Oh,
Godzilla vs.
Werewolves
Kong.
Within.
Godzilla vs. Kong.
Damn it.
Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. Day Shift. Triple Frontier. Zola. Marina. Werewolves Within. The White Tiger.
Werewolves Within.
Infinite. EO. Climax. Avengement. Dune. And I like Blackberry. And Fist of the Condor.
Of course.
This is tough. So I picked The Night Comes for Us, Portrait of a Lady on Fire, Decision to Leave, Crawl, Mandy, Barbarian, Test Pattern, After Sun, Malignant, and Bloodshot.
I mean, that's the stuff you talk about all the time anyway.
It's true.
So, very on brand.
Yeah, Barb and Star, Dead Don't Die, RRR, Bergman Island, Gentleman, Plane, Sisu, Cyrano, Triangle of Sadness, and Upgrade.
It's quite eclectic.
Well, Megan, at the 1,000 episodes mark, we're going to have to do from now till 8 years.
Oh, man.
So, no, we'll do...
Yeah, no, condense it. Rule out all of these years that we just did.
We'll do 31 to 27. How's that sound?
I'm ripping it out. Throwing it away.
8 years. That's a lot of editing. Well, Last of Us did 100 of them.
Well, there you go.
So I've done 400. And more. And Final Fights.
Oh, yeah.
And the research ones.
And all the other random
And the
things.
bonus episodes.
Mm-hmm.
We did it. This was fun.
High five.
High five. I'm depressed.
Why?
We should have done a list of 48 things.
Yeah, we should have just thrown all of our stuff.
I have Bloodshot on
It's
the
fine.
list.
Just know that no matter what we pick, the internet will think we're wrong.
Yeah. Well, here, how about this? If we picked one movie you like, statistically, that's harder than
There
picking
you go.
something, like, if we have something in common over these thousands of movies, then you should be happy.
I'm just happy that we were very true to ourselves, and these are lists that I think I could have picked your list for you.
Hey, that's good, though. I mean, then we did. Then I did my job. We did our job then by staying true to ourselves.
These are movies that we love.
After Sun. All right. So for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, for Megan Hoffmeyer, 500 episodes, kicking off the week. This is Movies, Films, and Flicks. We'll see you next week.